7 common emotional health issues with seniors. You know, guys, when you get older, things change. Obviously, right? Things change. So for some seniors, these 7 issues can be a big deal. Others, not so much. We all age differently, right? We all age differently. But if you do have one of these 7, there are ways around it. You just have to be aware that this might be an issue for you. So here's number 1, emotional eating. What's this caused by? Stress. Just like anything else. I mean, stress causes a lot of things, right? Stress can cause alcohol abuse, drug abuse, oversleeping. But in a lot of seniors, it's emotional eating. Another thing is that when let's say you're a single retiree, you retired on your own. I know, like with me, when I'm up here in the high desert for my probably about 2 weeks a month, I don't like to cook for myself. So I could be getting some stuff that's not so good for me, right? And if I was involved in emotional eating, which I'm not, that's not one of my things, I could get in some pretty bad health. So emotional eating caused by stress, caused by isolation, caused by maybe not being able to get around as well as you used to be able to go and get good food. Ease, right? It's easy sometimes to get fast food. Oh my God, is it easy, right? So that's number 1. Number 2, social phobia. What is this? This is developed because of limited mobility, cognitive impairment, or other issues that may cause older people embarrassment. So what do you do if you're embarrassed by something? You don't do it, right? Or if these things keep cropping up, cognitive impairment, maybe you're embarrassed by the fact that when you talk to other people, it may take you a while to get some of those words, right? I know with me, the older I've got, I have some of those, right? Or the famous one, you get up and you go into another room to get something, you can't remember what you were going there for, right? So issues like this, especially with communication with people, can cause some seniors a social phobia. Yeah, that's an emotional health issue if I ever heard of one. Hey, if you guys are seeing me for the first time, my name is Duane, and this is a channel for retiring on moderate income. If you think I might like that, like the video. And also, I just recently put out a book, a thriller / dark comedy called The Monster Who Loves Me, which is about a serial killer who falls in love. Yeah, you can get that down below if you want for $3.99. So what am I on? Number 3. This also goes along with social phobia. Number 2. Fears related to the loss of cognitive ability. If you have trouble with tasks that used to be easy, this could really cause you issues. You may fear doing these tasks anymore. Things that used to be so easy for you, even like, let's say driving on a long trip. Might have been easy for you before, but now, you might not be able to tell directions that well anymore. Now, this one may be for some much older retirees, but it can affect people of any age. I remember when I was taking care of my mom after she had her stroke, and her cognitive abilities slowly went down and down. I remember at one time I had to reteach her how to change the channels on the TV. Yeah, she was a very intelligent woman. So loss of cognitive abilities, it was crushing for me to have to do that. For her, it didn't feel too good either. I could see her getting frustrated. So fears related to loss of cognitive abilities, that can be an issue. Here's another issue for you, insomnia. This obviously it affects people of all ages, right? But the older you get, your body undergoes changes. 16-year-old voice Duane, here we go again. Time for some retirement vodka. Nothing like vodka in the morning. So insomnia. Maybe that causes my insomnia, huh? What do you think? The older you get, there are going to be changes in your body, chemical changes. It's widely known that the older you get, the less sleep you may need. Okay, there could be patchy sleep. But this could also be caused by stress, by some of the first couple points I brought up. You know, if you've got fear, if you've got stress over things that are happening to you, cognitive, physical changes, that can cause you loss of sleep, right? I've had sleep issues throughout my life. It's not fun. It's not fun. But one thing I want to let you guys know, especially my listeners who are not retired yet, if you have some issues of sleep when you're working, at least with me, those issues have gone way down. I can sleep better in retirement. I'm much more calm. But for a lot of people, this might not be the thing for them. It could be the opposite. I've had some people comment on my channel. They've had their sleep has got, if not the same, it's got worse. It's not the majority, but it can happen. So what's another emotional health issue with seniors? Stress. Kind of touched on that in a couple of these from the beginning. What does stress do? Stress by any of these issues, the first four we talked about, it can cause difficulty in concentration. Things that used to be easy for you are not so easy anymore because you're just all stressed out. Man, I've been like that. I had a couple jobs that put me in that kind of a frame of mind. So stress is an emotional health issue common with seniors for whatever reason. Stress about their finances, stress about how long am I going to live, stress about my health. That can cause trouble concentrating on things they normally would be able to do with ease, right? So stress, it's a big one. Here's another one. Going back to number one, which is emotional eating. Here is another factor of emotional, if you're depressed, if you're stressed. Alcohol abuse. It's on the rise with seniors. It can be a big thing. Now, I was never had a real big issue with alcohol, but I was dependent on alcohol at one time to fall asleep. I would have a couple drinks a night. God, probably the last 3 jobs I had, most every night I would have at least a couple drinks a night. Never that much, never more than like 3 drinks, but I did it to put me to sleep. So why? Because it was a stressful job. So for those seniors in retirement that feel stress, it's either eating or it's alcohol or it could be prescription drugs too. Okay. But there's a big issue with alcohol abuse in seniors, I'd say in the last 10, 20 years. So you got to be careful of that, guys. There's another one. Look, if you're having with any of these issues, and I've always said this on my channel, I am a big proponent of therapy. If you have issues, consider therapy, guys. I know for a lot of my older viewers, maybe when you were growing up, and maybe toward middle age, therapy was kind of a taboo thing. Not anymore, guys. Don't let anything stop you. Don't you want to feel better? I've been in therapy on and off my whole life. It makes me feel better when I'm in those bad times. I'm not always in therapy, but when I go through bad times, yeah, I reach out. So don't let anything, stigma, whatever you think your friends or family are going to think, don't let it stop you. Reach out. And number 7, which I just did a video on recently, anger issues. You got the guy out in front of his lawn yelling at the kids, get off his lawn. You got the, people just angry. They're just looking for an excuse to just lash out. Why is this? Health issues? Emotional issues? You just don't feel good. Sometimes you don't feel good. You lash out. So yeah, anger is a big issue or it's an emotional health issue in seniors. Again, reach out, guys. Therapy. And for those of us that have maybe relatives or friends that you can tell they've got an issue, an anger issue, try and be calm. Try and be there for them. Try and help them. I know it's not easy. At times it's not easy because they're just lashing out at you. But try and be there for them. Try and help them figure it out. What is causing you all this anger? Now, if that's just their personality, if they've been like that their whole life, okay, I get it. That's one thing. But if you've noticed a change since they've retired, Try and help them out with it, guys. Try and be there for them. They're going through pain. They're going through stress, whatever it is. Just try and be there for them to help them get through these anger issues. So there you go, guys. There's 7 common emotional health issues with seniors. A lot of these can be fixed. Some may be harder to do than others. But as always, from the lovely high desert, we got this.